Anthropic just released the most interesting and underhyped feature in Claude, and this might completely change the way we use it. This feature gives us a new way to build Claude skills, and instead of having to write skills from scratch, Claude can record your screen, watch what you're doing, and listen as you talk through the process you want to automate. Then it analyzes recording and turns into a reusable skill. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how it works by building a skill that turns Reddit posts into content ideas, so you can see how to automate your own content research. Then I'll show you 3 more skills that I've already built that I genuinely use. They solve completely different problems, but I can guarantee you probably dealt with at least one of them yourself. And all the skills that you make can run automatically on schedule, which is where this feature gets really useful. And if you know what a skill is, it's basically a file with instructions that teaches Claude how to perform a specific type of task. For example, instead of explaining how I want to write my emails every time, I can save that process as a skill and reuse it whenever I need to write a new email. And what's cool about this feature is that Claude isn't just recording your clicks, it's supposed to understand the process behind them. So I'm going to test exactly that. I'll show Claude how I do the process once, then I'll open a fresh task and see if it can do the whole job by itself. So this feature is only available inside Claude Cowork. So go inside your Claude, press Cowork button, and press plus and record a skill. Claude tells you that it's about to capture your screen, your clicks, your typing, and your voice. When you finish, it analyzes the recording and writes a reusable skill. So I'm going to start recording now. I'm going to press record skill and start recording. So I browse these 4 subreddits, which are Claude AI, Claude Code, Vibe Coding, and AI Agents. For each subreddit, I usually go through each post and see if they're going viral or they're interesting. For example, 100 free Fable 5 credits doesn't sound too interesting. There's a Claude News. I think Claude News are good if they have a specific use case. For example, in this Fable 5 will be included in the Max and Premium plans. That is interesting. I can make content out of that. And I usually just browse and see if the post has a lot of upvotes or comments. Then it's considered to be going viral. Then same thing happens in Claude Code. I usually skip memes because they aren't very relevant. Then I keep scrolling, seeing if anything interesting. For example, this subreddit talks about Fable 5 again, but this particular one is about Claude News. Basically, anything that stands out and has a lot of upvotes and comments, that's considered viral. Same thing in Vibe Coding. I just pick what is interesting. Same thing in AI Agents. Just keep scrolling for around a minute or 2, maybe like 20 posts each on each subreddit. Pick out the best ones and turn them into video ideas and link each Reddit post as a link. So now it's processing 8 steps, and you'll see that it recorded for 79 seconds and it has all my transcript. It has screenshots as I was browsing, as I was switching tabs, clearly it's thinking. I actually using Sonnet 5 High because that one I've tested, and difference between Opus and Sonnet isn't that much, but it uses less credits. And the cool thing about Claude Cowork is that it has 50% more usage than normal Claude. So a lot of people probably sleep on Claude Cowork, but hey, this is a cool one. So you can see the screenshots. You can see as I switched, clicked, scrolled down. So it's trying to understand exactly what's happening. So roughly around 2 minutes, it wrote an entire skill, as we can see on the right-hand side, and has all the tabs, all the steps. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to save this as a skill. What we'll do, it will add it to my skill list. So I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to type Reddit Content Scout and see what kind of things it produces. So and the cool thing is we can actually see what Claude is doing. So it opens a new group in Chrome. If I just click through, we can watch along what Claude does. Okay, so I opened 4 new tabs. And now it went into Claude AI subreddit and filtered by hot. Now we can see the mouse, and I'm assuming it's going to start browsing the subreddit. So actually it scanned 4 subreddits and gave me a full MD file of all the findings. So if you look through each file, let's see if it actually is AI slop or legit information. So Anthropic quietly cut 50% of usage boot expose. That's pretty interesting. Any conspiracy theories around Anthropic, Fable 5 free credits. So actually all of it has all the links as well. So if I click into one of them, it has an entire subreddit and it has all the comments. So I can actually look at the post myself. And if I wanted to scroll more than it did, so I can tell it, actually update the skill so I get 10 strongest ideas from each subreddit. And what we'll do, it will update the skill automatically. So it showed me the skill again. And this time it said pick 10 strongest per subreddit. And once you see this, just click update skill and upload and replace. And now your skill is updated. One thing I do have to say is that it took 5 to 6 minutes to run this. But the whole beauty of Claude Cowork is that you can actually schedule tasks. So it can run overnight, so you don't have to actually wait for it. So you go into Schedule tab, click New Task and set up manually. And here you can just type your skill and how often you want it to run. So if I'm gonna run daily at 9 a.m., I'm gonna run on my computer. I'm gonna name it Daily Reddit Scout Ideas. I'm gonna click Save. And here we can see that daily schedule has been set. There's instructions, which is our skill. So that's literally me just one-shotting the skill, but the impact of it's huge, because before this, building a skill like that meant turning everything in your head into a clean written process and endlessly prompting and testing the skill. With screen recording, it just gives you another way to explain the work. You can demonstrate the task, narrate why you're making each decision, and let Claude produce the first written version, which opens the skill building to literally everyone who knows their job extremely well, but will never sit down and write a detailed Markdown file. That brings me to the other 3 skills that I've built. So the first one is the X Content Scout, which is very similar to the one we just built, and all I did was just record myself scroll through X, find the posts that I found interesting, found the posts that are really bad, told it what's good, told it what's bad, told it how long I should scroll for, and the whole recording just lasted around 87 seconds. I get a lot of ideas from X, and sometimes I get stuck into doom scrolling. So this skill scrolls through my feed, finds viral or interesting posts, and turns them into content ideas. And let me actually show you how it works in action. So here's the skill X Content Scout. I'm just gonna run it. So open my X. You can see it starts scrolling, looking at all the posts, and you can see what's actually happening. It batches actions, and it takes screenshot, scrolls down, takes screenshot. It's continuing to scroll for another maybe like few minutes, and at the end of it, it'll give me a report of all the tweets I need to be aware of. And the whole beauty of this is that it actually scrolls your own algorithm, right? If you use like X API or Amplify scrapers, you need to scroll specific accounts. So you don't really know what's trending or going viral. But by scrolling your own X algorithm does that heavy lifting for you. Shows you the posts that are going viral, posts that are interesting to you. So it only took 2 minutes to run, and it gave me 5 AI-related posts that I can turn into video ideas. And then each idea has a link. So I can actually open this link and see the tweet for myself, as you can see here. So as you can see, these posts are actually relevant to me because they're from my algorithm, right? And that's the whole beauty of this skill. So how the whole thing works is actually uses a Claude extension in Chrome. So you have to authenticate it through Chrome, and it only works in Chrome for now. So the second skill is a bit more personal. Like, I want to buy a new camera so I can make a better YouTube videos for you guys, but I want to keep checking Facebook Marketplace and pay more than I need to. So I built a Facebook Marketplace spy. And if you look at this skill, I recorded myself talking for like 110 seconds, which is almost like 2 minutes. So all I did, I went into Facebook, went to Marketplace, typed the camera name, which is in this case, Sony ZV-E10. And I told the specifics, like I don't want to pay more than $1,000. I want to make sure that the camera comes with a lens. I don't want to buy a lens. And it took all my recordings and made that into a skill. So I found 4 cameras for me, but none of them are under my budget. But I can probably just message the buyers and say, hey, can you sell it for $1,000? But the cool thing is that it shows you that you can use the skill much more than just a content research. So the third skill is a daily performance tracker, which is very simple but a useful skill. And all I did, I just went on all my social media accounts like Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and told it to grab the current follower numbers and put in a nice looking dashboard, as you can see right here. I can also add some rules later, like alert me when one account has an unusual jump, or show me which platform is growing the fastest. And this is exactly the boring task that works better on schedule. There are a few limits you should know about before using this feature and recording everything you do. First of all, connectors are still better than screen recording. It's more stable and more reliable. For example, Gmail has their own connector, so it would make more sense to use that if you're writing a skill that has something to do with your email. Secondly, the recorder can only learn from what you show and explain. If you demonstrate one clean example, you might miss the ugly ones. So show exceptions and what not to do. And after testing this for a few hours, I definitely think this feature is underhyped. Like, it does a pretty good job of one-shotting the skills, but my guess, the more complex the flow is, the more likely it's going to break, and you have to do a couple of iterations to fix it. And in this video, I just scratched the surface to show you what's possible. And if you learned something new, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I read every single comment. See you next week.